Hello fairy friends, this is Liz and you are looking at my last little cutie that I won off of eBay. I bought several box lots and a couple dolls just by themselves. I hadn't bought any new dolls in a long time. At least that's what I told my husband. I've been given lots of dolls lately, but I did not purchase any, so that is the truth. So it'll be a little bit before I go to purchase anymore. I like to keep up with the ones that I have and go ahead and do the things that I have in mind for them before I get more. I don't want it to get out of hand. Plus, after I fix them up, I can then decide whether or not they're something I want to keep in my collection or give to someone else or possibly sell them or trade. I love doing trades. So this is also a Horsman, as you probably can tell, and she also has sticky problems. But she has one additional challenge, and that is, as people already probably know, her skin or the material for her face is different from this. So this I've already done a little test patch on with my acetone, and as long as I do a very thin and very light wiping, that will get that sticky off. Not so for her face. I did a little test patch on the back of her neck, and what happened was a little bit of discoloration, almost like what you see here. Now this is how she came to me, and she just actually arrived just about an hour ago. So for some reason my mail came early today, so I was so excited. So it's not as bad, the little test patch back here that I did with the acetone, but you can see what would happen if I dared to try to use the acetone all over. Now this I can repaint, touch that up, repaint it, and even if I didn't want to do that, her hair can be styled over it. But while I'm in the business of fixing her skin before I move on to other things like her hairstyle, I might as well go ahead and paint that and fix that up. So her face is going to need just good old-fashioned soap and water, and hopefully it will help. Now, she is not as dirty as this little sweetie was yesterday. She's just as sticky, but she must have been kept differently than she was, because you probably don't even recognize her in this state. She had such a thick gray layer of dirt on that grease that was on her, that stickiness, that I did try the dish soap, Tammy, like you had suggested, but it just wasn't cutting it. It was so thick that I wasn't sure, what I was doing wrong, if it needed to soak a little bit on there, if I had built up a layer of it, rubbed it on there, real thick like lotion, and let it sit there for a little bit, that might have worked. But I get very impatient. That's one of the bad things about me, and then that makes me have mistakes that I could have avoided if I would have been a little bit more patient. So I went straight to acetone, which is what I always use to when I'm repainting dolls, to take off the factory paint, and it worked like a dream. Did take off her eyebrows and what little bit of coloring was left in her cheeks and her lips, but that's okay, I can fix that. And Tammy, you were right, her hair was surprisingly easy to deal with, and I think it turned out really well just from shampooing it. I did sit and do this with the curls to get it to have some sort of style, and I just put a little headband on her for now. So I will be getting the cornstarch to put on her and to put in her joints, as well as hers, as soon as I get her all cleaned up. So I'll be going to buy that because I only have the regular baby powder. And oh, I was going to ask a question real quick before I move her away. after she's destickified, she's already been destickified. People who know about these types of dolls or have had these, how often do they get sticky again? And will it be something that I'll, well, just basically how often will I have to do that? Will they get sticky again really soon or not? And Dodie's Dolls suggested the Oops, which I will be getting some of that just to have on hand as a little tool in my arsenal, or my toolbox. And that way I have an extra thing that I can use in case something else doesn't work. You had mentioned about the plasticizer in the clay, or in the plastic, being that's what's coming out. And I wanted to show you, I think I'd put in the comments, this is what I use to sculpt my polymer clay dolls, my fairies. And sometimes these come from the factory and the clay is very stiff, but sometimes it's very soft, and so I get different consistencies. It just depends on the batch. But sometimes it looks greasy. There's a sheen to the clay, and so I'll wrap this in plain white paper to leach that out, and it's actually very surprising how much comes out. I just wanted to know if the idea with the cornstarch was kind of like the paper, kind of absorbing that. And then if I do use a layer of cornstarch, and I don't know if that's going to work, will that work with her skin complexion? That's my one question. My other one is, do I wash off when I go to when she starts to get sticky again, if she should get sticky again, do I completely wash off that cornstarch and then start over and, powder her again? No, that's what I want to know. So 3 things basically. 1, after she's cleaned, and she's already cleaned, how long will it be until they get sticky again? 2, will the cornstarch be okay on her complexion? And 3, do I completely wipe it off and reapply it when they start to get sticky again? And actually 4, I have 4 questions. She's obviously different. Not just her skin color, obviously, but her face is fuller and she's slightly bigger. So, who do you think she is? What's her name? I did look and I couldn't find anything specific. So anyway, that will be it for this video, and I will be making another soon. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for all the tips and for sharing your knowledge. If anyone has any comments or any tips for me, please do. I always read the comments. I love to hear what people have to say. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.